good evening, good evening, good evening. I just realized that it's saying that I'm planning to go live tomorrow. So let me just click this and make sure that we are live right now because it says that we're planning on going live tomorrow. But we're live tonight. We're live tonight. So
Right. We're live.
oh, we're live. We're live. Finna go live. We're live. It's almost Friday, y'all. Listen, wait, you hear me? You hear me thing in the background. So, hey, y'all, happy Thursday, happy Thursday, happy Thursday. It is myself, Jabrina Speaks, and you're in the chat box with us on tonight. I am super excited about the queen that I have in the building with me on tonight. And so, before we start, we want you to go ahead and hit the share button right now because I promise you her story is going to change your life. And so I am your host tonight. My name is Jabrina Speaks, and you're in the chat box with Erieka. Hey, Erieka. I know, right? Erieka is in the chat box with me. And so if you are watching, go ahead and comment so we can shout you out so we'll know that you're watching. Hey, it's a Facebook user. So if you can let us know who you are,
Hey,
we
y'all.
would really appreciate that. And so tonight we're about to get started. I'm trying to hit the share button so I can share this live right now on my page. And so give me 1 second because I'm going to share this right now.
I don't see a share button for me, so I'm just gonna stay here. So
Oh, right. Don't you touch anything, young lady. I can. It's so if I tag you, would it automatically show up on your
I
page?
don't. I'm not gonna touch it. I'm not gonna.
Hey Mo, hi. Hey Diane, how are you? Listen, Diane, you have a gift. You have a gift. I have to connect with you.
Up that gift yet?
No, because I haven't seen her. We only did. I haven't seen her, and so Diane, you have a gift. We'll have to connect this weekend or sometime this month so you can get your gift. Actually, from you, Erieka, right?
Yes.
Yes. So Diane, we got a gift for you. We got a gift for you.
Yeah.
And so Erieka is in the building with me, guys. If you don't know who, I'll see you Saturday. Oh, Diane, I gotta call you by Saturday, but yeah, okay. We'll talk about that offline. So tonight you're in the chat box with myself and Erieka. Listen, go ahead and hit the share button because her story is going to change your life. And so tonight I have the amazing queen, Miss Erieka Brown, in the chat box with me. She is a native. She is a Floridian, but she is born and raised in the county of Dade. And so with that being said, she is a mother. She's a wife. She is a business owner. She is the best business owner that I know that can make the best sea mouse lemonade, y'all. Because I got me some sea mouse lemonade. Sea mouse. Listen, this is what connected us. Something else connected us, but this is what connected me. I did not like sea moss. I did not understand it. It was, what it tastes like. But this sister right here literally said, taste this and you would drink it and you would have no problem with it. And so I believe I am the free spokesperson of this sea moss lemonade because every time we go somewhere, I'm like, did you guys try the lemonade? Did you try the lemonade? And so she is the brand. She is the business owner. She is the face behind Royal Bees Boutique. And so, Erieka, how are you on this evening?
I am doing just lovely, Jabrina. Every time we're connected, I have this feeling of just like, gosh, this is my sister from another mother.
Yes.
So I'm doing great. It's a pleasure to be here to share my story on this platform with you this evening.
Mm-hmm. Somebody said that the mango and strawberry sea moss lemonade is fire. Listen, y'all, I'm telling y'all, I just got 4 bottles the other night. And then besides that, and she'll talk about this, I'm going to let her do her thing. She has this beautiful alkaline water that she'll talk about as well. So listen, if y'all are looking into tasting the sea moss strawberry lemonade, make sure you follow her, even though she'll tell y'all this in the end. I'm just throwing it out early so y'all can understand how good this lemonade is. It will change your life and your health forever. So Erieka, I would like to purchase. Listen, Mo, she gonna drop all that information in the end. I'm selling lemonade before she would tell her story, y'all. The lemonades. We're gonna have a Jabrina Speaks code so she'll know everybody that came from me way over there. Listen,
right.
Exactly. They are listen, y'all. The story is not about her sea mouse lemonade, but it's the
Right,
best. It's the
right,
best. And
right.
so, Erieka, tell them a little bit about yourself.
So I am Erieka Brown, as Jabrina has lovely mentioned. That was just like the best introduction ever. I am the mother of two, the grandmother of five. I am also a wife. I'm a full time government employee. And I also have my own business that she's shared, Royal Bees Boutique, where we encourage you to invest in your health.
Invest in your health, y'all. Listen,
Thank
hello, hey everybody. Listen, so we about to jump right on in. I do want to say this because I don't want this to happen while we're on the live and then you guys think, oh my God, the computer just went out. And so my computer has been like doing this jump in and out, like it's playing double dutch sometimes. And so it hasn't happened while I'm live. But if the computer just so happens to try to do a double dutch and jump off, we're going to jump back on. Okay. So that's just, I want to say that just in case you're watching and the computer just shuts off. Okay. We'll be right back if that happens. And so, Erieka, and the guest that's watching, this segment is called My Pain, My Progress, My Purpose. And so I'm sure over your lifetime that God has given you, you have stumped your toe and said, ouch. There was some type of pain you've had to endure through a life, through your lifetime. And so I'm sure the audience that's watching, you can attest and you can agree, or you know what pain feels like. Pain doesn't always feel good, doesn't always look good, but in the end, you find out that it worked together for your good. You found out that, oh my God, that pain pushed me to a different place. And so tonight, Erieka is going to share her story with us. And so, Erieka, can you tell me and the audience that's watching about a time you've had to endure some type of pain?
Absolutely. So, as coming up, I've actually had to start my life on my own at the tender age of 14. 14 years old. Both my mom and my dad was on drugs. Um, I actually was dating a local dope boy, and things that my parents should have been doing for me, I was getting that from him.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to grow up a little early.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Doing after school activities, just being a teenager, I never ever experienced that. And most people who know my story, who's really close to me, always tell me I need to write a book.
Mm-hmm.
Even you've hinted around that.
Mm-hmm.
I just haven't made it to that point yet, but that has been part of my pain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the oldest of five girls.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, I had to be the mother to my sisters, and they looked up to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to carry a whole lot
Mm-hmm.
at a young age. And I did the best that I could up until maybe about 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I had reached a breaking point.
Mm-hmm.
And that breaking point, because I had to be strong for so long,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just tired. I just felt that I wasn't where I needed to be at that particular time in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I had failed.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I've always wanted to do was that parent to both my son and my daughter that I didn't get from.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, and here's some stories when people talking about, is there a difference when you're on love versus survival?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There is some truth behind it, and there is a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And I never had a parent to tell me that they love me.
Mm-hmm.
I've always had to get out here and get it. So I was raised on survival most of my life.
Mm-hmm.
But at this breaking point, I was depressed. The doctors had depression medication, and I think that it worked, but this company, I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
I text two friends, and I text my husband, who wasn't my husband at the time, we weren't together, and I just pretty much told them that it's over.
Wow.
Um, I had just started popping pills, popping pills, popping pills,
Mm.
and at the time, one of my friends, she worked for DSO.
Mm-hmm.
She actually pinged my patient to figure out where I was because they was responding, where are you? We're coming to
Mm-hmm.
get you. I didn't respond.
Mm-hmm.
My body actually started to shut down. Um, so my friend actually ended up pinging the location, and that's how they found me.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody, I really don't share this story, but I pretty much the ambulance called, police officer called, and my friend actually had me Baker back.
Mm.
So when I went to this facility, and I mean, there was individuals walking around banging their head, talking to themselves, and a light bulb went off. It was like, ah, this wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But I was stuck there. I had to wait to talk to a doctor, and it was and it was like the longest weekend of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went and doctor, I had to actually pay. And the young lady who I was in the room with, she just was looking at me. She was like, "What are you doing here?" And I was like, I started, moving to the wall, like, And I just started praying. And I was like, God, no,
Mm-hmm.
this is not what I want.
Mm-hmm.
So when I actually went in and talked to the doctor the following day, immediately when I walked in the room, sat down, he looked at me, and he said, "What's really going on?
Mm.
Because you're crazy."
Mm.
And as I began to talk, he was like, you're not supposed to be."
Mm-hmm.
So it was just like a light bulb that went off, like, okay, you need to put on your girl underwear, and you can. Also at the time, my fiance, now my husband,
Mm-hmm.
he was in the room with me as well.
Mm-hmm.
Only way that he would let me out is if I went with
Mm-hmm.
vouch for me. He told me I should encourage. He did encourage to counseling. He did tell me it wasn't the end of the road; it was just a bump in the road.
Mm-hmm.
And I walked away from that situation with a different look on life.
Mm-hmm.
From that situation, it was a couple years later, but I just started searching. It was something else that I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I knew definitely it wasn't the medication for. Some have these medication bottles supposed to help. When they be on the television, at the end they talk really fast, like it may cause diarrhea, constipation. It say all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I say that to say the medication was supposed to help with my depression, but it actually worsened. And I had no idea, like when I started popping those pills, like where did this come from? Like how did I even get to? I just looked back at that situation. I was just like, okay, that's something you had to do, Erica. That was a test for your testimony.
Mm-hmm.
So fast forward, I started looking at alternative ways of dealing with depression.
So before you go there, I want to make sure that they can hear you clearly. because it sounded like you were going in and out. So if you guys are watching, for the people that are watching, just let us know if you could hear her clearly while she was speaking. And so we are talking about your pain. And if you're just joining us, you told us that the sound is sketchy. Okay, so I'm not. We just got to make sure that they can hear going in and out. I thought it was, and I apologize about that. So Erieka, I guess I'll listen to you when you start to talk again to make sure we could hear you clearly.
Okay. Is
On
it me?
it is when you're talking. I could hear you, but then like some of the words will go in and out.
Okay.
And so I just wanted to make sure that they can hear you. I didn't know if I can only hear it or they are hearing as well. And so I do apologize for that. But I'm sure you guys can make out the beginning of what she has talked about. And so I know if you are just joining, you talked about your pain. And so with your pain, you talked about having to grow up at an early age, at the tender age of, believe you said 14. And so you realize that, okay, the love that I should have gotten at home, and maybe they didn't know how to do it at the time. You found it somewhere else, and it wasn't the best place to be at that time, but that's what you did. You did, in a sense, what the kids will probably say now. I had to do what was best for me, and then you became the mother to your sisters almost, with you being the older sister. But it was something that the pain that stuck out the most that you're talking about tonight is trying to take your own life. And so you realize that was it. You say you were Baker Act, and so you realize that being there is not a place you knew that you knew that you were not supposed to be there. But it was getting back to that place and to that point of realizing that this is not where I'm supposed to be.
Right.
And so, to the audience on tonight, have you ever been in that spot? Not a spot of where she might have been when it came to trying to take her life, but realizing that, wait a second, how did I get here, and how am I going to get from here? And so, at that moment, you begin to, you say you were taking medication, and so because I know you had to process and progress all of this, and it sounded like that's what you were getting ready to talk about, this process and progress through this thing. And so, tell us, how did you process and progress through this? Because now that you're being released from the hospital, and now that you went through and you've had your conversations with all of these people, now you have to leave out and say, how am I going to process and progress through this thing? How am I going to get now from point A to point B? Because I see what point A is. So tell us about that.
So moving past this point, I knew that the medication wasn't for me and that I had to seek some alternative form of finding a way to deal with the depression.
Mm-hmm.
I had started doing research onto crystal healing, crystals from the earth. I was looking for more holistic ways. Through some of my sessions, one of the therapists had mentioned to me about meditation.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I've never meditated before. What is that? So I just started YouTubing.
Mm-hmm.
You can find pretty much anything on YouTube. And it's pretty much quieting the mind. I also found information on listening to healing hertz frequencies.
Mm-hmm.
You can also find that on YouTube. There were stations where you can listen to affirmations, and I started going to sleep with YouTube stations just playing in my ear. Um, I would start off in the evening just laying in bed and reciting them
Mm-hmm.
until I would actually fall asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes in the middle of the night, I wake up to go to the bathroom to wake up to it's still playing.
Mm-hmm.
So even though I was asleep, my mind was still processing this.
Mm-hmm.
Also during this time, I would like searches on Facebook and Instagram for meditation. That's how I started following different individuals.
Mm-hmm.
And I came across this one young lady actually on Facebook, and she was doing a retreat
Mm-hmm.
to renew, to refresh, to rebuild. And I was like, this sounds interesting. So I reached out to best friend. I reached out to my cousin and my daughter and her daughter, and we all took this trip. My daughter ended up canceling at the last minute.
Mm-hmm.
We took this trip to the mountain in California, and that was a life changing experience.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we went to this retreat. It was only us that was there.
Mm-hmm.
But when we walked away from the experience, I was like, and I shared it with my cousin. I was like, listen, we need to take this back to our community, because do you know how many individuals, especially women, we can help?
Mm-hmm.
So from that experience, that's how I started looking to really holistic ways of finding to address the situation
Mm-hmm.
with the body, with the mind. And it has been a journey, but it's been a beautiful journey. At some point, I was afraid. I was afraid to share this story, but I was like, Erica, you can't be afraid no more, because you never know. And
Mm-hmm.
people look at me like, you just look like you had it all together. But looks can be deceiving. You can never judge a book by the cover.
Mm-hmm.
But it took a lot for me to get now.
Wow. Wow.
It
Wow.
took it took a lot.
And it's a blessing, because if somebody comes back and watch this segment, or is watching now, and at a place to where you once were, they can see the glory of the Lord on you now. They can see the light at the end of the tunnel. They can see that their story still has more chapters in it. And so God has released you to tell your story, because, as you said, the test is only now giving you the testimony that you need, and it's going to help the next person. Absolutely, Elder Powers, a journey, but a beautiful journey. And so when we understand that, then we can, it may sound crazy to some may not understand it, but then we can thank God for the pain that has happened, because from your pain, you said you begin to do research. From your pain, you found holistic revenues, or ways to do healing for yourself. And so you realize that your pain had a process and progress through to get to the purpose that God is having you fulfill right now. And so if there's anybody that's watching, that tonight is only to remind you that though it may be painful, though you may be sitting in a place of not understanding what's going on in your life, because you're saying to yourself, we are almost at the end of 2022, and I'm still trying to figure it out. Tonight is just to remind you that it is okay, that you're still figuring out. But listening to Erica's story on tonight, there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Mhm.
It may be dark right now. You may not understand what's going on. And I'm sure at that moment, you didn't understand what was going on. But it is a blessing to know the rebirth was happening. And so while you were saying all of those words, you was taking all the words right out of my book. I'm like, come on, 31 days to read. 31 days to read. Come on. And so you talked about your pain. You talked about how you process and progress through it. but tell us, how did you get to understand that there was purpose behind all of the hell you was going through?
So to be honest with you, Jabrina, I didn't see it as a purpose at that point.
Which is fine.
It,
Because now, okay, the question is, do you now?
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. Just with individuals, and let me just share with you. After we came back from this retreat, we actually did a couple of retreats. We did, I think it was two here. We did one in Valdosta, and we did one in Atlanta. Just a couple of weeks ago, I had two individuals call me and was like, Erieka, remember that retreat you did that one day? When you're doing it again?
Wow.
And as I was driving home tonight, my cousin called me and she was like, you busy? I was like, I'm on the way home. I'm stuck in traffic. What's up? And she was like, you called me the other day and I forgot to ask you this. She was like, but I've had three individuals come to me, Erieka, and they want to know when we're doing another retreat. She just started speaking about women that was going through and how they was blessed with just that one day of the retreat. And everybody has requested that it become a weekend. So even with that one day, um, my experience and her experience and sharing that and just getting women to just open up and just release and let go, it touched lives. So I say that to say I had to go through that journey in order to share my journey, in order to help others on their journey. So, I've in some form or fashion, I've shared with you, Sabrina, I used to do these retreats before and I wanted to do it. And I just think before I got this live night and just getting that phone call, and I was like, you have to push through air. You got to come through for the community because they need you. So not only sharing and educating the community different ways, their bodies, holistic with different herbs, but there's individuals that's actually needing healing from just going everyday life, like what I was going through. So the pain was definitely worth it. And I've always said, even with my 9 to 5 job, I was like, my job is here to help other individuals. So I'm starting to get it now. It's starting to make sense now. And it's just implementing the plan and just following through at this point.
Wow, wow, wow. So with you moving to purpose, I know you mentioned about the holistic and finding herbs and finding crystals. I know you were mentioning that. How did that get you to where you are now when it comes to a business aspect of what you're doing?
So, funny part, I used to stay in Atlanta. And when I was in Atlanta, I've always had a passion for plants. I had a sunroom, and I have the sunroom full of plants. I used to try and grow herbs, and then when it get cold and it snow, they'll freeze up and they die, and I'll be like, "Oh, my plants died." So it was embedded in me. So of course, moving back home, I'll buy a plant here or there, but it wasn't like in Atlanta. COVID hit. When COVID hit, my daughter was one of the first ones to catch COVID, and that's when they was trying to send everybody to the hospital. And I was like, "You're not going to no hospital, boo." Um, she was working for BSO at the time, and from time she told me, she was like, Mom, there's this guy that's working in this dorm with me. He just coughing, coughing, coughing. And I was like, well, is he covering his mouth? And she was like, no, they think he might have COVID. And I was like, well, you got some Lysol spray? And she was like, got it at home. So she always thought she got it from a coworker. But long story short, she ended up catching COVID. And from the time she left, she was leaving to go to work. And she was working from 11 to 7. So when she left the house, maybe like 9, she was like, I don't feel like going, but I'm gonna go. And I was like, you sure? She was like, yeah. So at the time they was doing testing their temperature. And by the time she got to the jail, she had a temperature. So of course they sent her back home. But when she came back home, she barely could walk in the door.
Wow.
So I was like, to see her like that, it
Mhm.
think I was like, I'm gonna start pulling out all the herbs.
Mhm.
And that's when it was putting everybody on respiratory. I was like, you're not going to the hospital.
Mhm.
I started pulling out all of the herbs, and it got to the point like by the next morning, she barely could get out of bed.
Almost like
I literally had to bathe her. Um,
mm.
I bathed her. She was a baby, but within 48 hours, my baby was up. She
Wow.
folding up the clothes.
Wow.
I just pulled out all the herbs. I made her sit in some good old, and it helped her.
Wow.
That point, that's when Warrior Bee came along. At first, I just started with the waist, and that was from another little journey I had. And because I knew I wanted to incorporate something else, but I had no earthly idea what it was, I added the word boutique because most people be like, well, how do you get boutique and you sell all this other stuff? And I was like, long story, but yeah, so I started with just on waist beads, and I knew that I wanted to incorporate, but I had no idea. I just added the word boutique. So
Wow.
that the journey, I pretty much started with everything I used for my daughter to heal her. So
Wow.
we only started with just the ginger shots and sea moss gels. That was absolutely it. The sea moss, ginger shots, and the waist beads. And
Wow.
that is flourished to the black seed oil, the sea moss lemonades, sea moss capsules, the B12 drops. I'm starting now with the herbal teas.
Mm.
So it just kind of branched out from that. So I was like, okay, God, I hear you and I see you. Okay, so it just fell right in place.
Wow. So how old is Royal Bees Boutique?
So Royal Bees Boutique is officially 2.5 years old. So
Really?
probably about 6 months. I was just doing the weight fees, and then COVID hit, and then it just took off from there.
To God be the glory.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
And now you have a whole line of stuff.
I do. And that website address is royalbeesboutique.com. For so those who are on the live right now, you just want to check out the website and see what all we have to offer is there.
Wow. That is amazing.
Yeah.
All from one situation.
Yep. One situation.
All from understanding that at some point, because you say I didn't understand it in the beginning. I didn't see the purpose in the beginning. I didn't see the pretty side in the beginning. I didn't see like, okay, like what do you mean? What? But when you allow God to be God in your life, he was able to take that pain and make purpose behind it. And so, if you're just joining us again, she shared her story. First of all, thank you guys for joining us in the chat box every first and third Thursday with myself. I'm your host, Jabrina Speaks, and I have the amazing owner of Royal Bees Boutique in the building with me, Erieka Brown. And so, she talked about her story in the beginning, her pain. And so, in her pain, I'm gonna just jump to the main pain, and the main pain was the enemy had her tricked for a moment, thinking
Absolutely.
that she had no more purpose on earth.
That's
And
right.
so if he could have took her out, he would have through medication. And but thank God that there's always an angel somewhere around. And so at that moment, we might not have understood why you had to go for 3 days, but at least somebody loved you enough to get you there because you couldn't do it on your own.
Yep.
Then that process, you realized, okay, wait a minute. I ain't supposed to be here. Yeah, I went ebonics. I ain't supposed to be here. What
That's
are
right.
y'all talking about? It was like, okay, that spirit had done hit you and was like, now it's not, wait, now you see, this is where you thought you wanted to be because that's where your mind had you. This
Right.
is where, but when you got there, it was like, oh, they say, if you ever been to jail, you get there, you be like, oh, I want to be, I thought I was hard until I had to go there. I
Yeah.
don't want to go there.
That's
But
right.
thank God you understood, because the blessing is that you never lost your mind. And
That's
so you see people walk around every day with a brain, but their mind is gone. And so God allowed you to keep your mind, even though the enemy was trying to steal it.
that's right.
That's a blessing. And so when you understood that, then you had to progress and process through it. Now it's like, okay, I got it back. I see what's going on. How am I going to process and progress through it? And you said through meditation, you said through retreats, you said through reading, doing some research and reading.
Hmm.
But then God allowed you to birth this baby of Royal Bees Boutique. And so it took another pain almost to see your daughter fall ill from COVID.
Yeah.
And
That,
it was like, wait, I was doing some research, but now I'm about to put this research into play. I got plants, but let's see if they really work. And so thank God you didn't give up on you, because the plant searching only happened from the mental breakdown in the beginning.
that's right. That's right. Absolutely.
If you didn't have that, you probably wouldn't be where you are today. And so Jeremiah 29:11 tells us that God already knows the plan that he has for us, a plan to prosper us and not to harm us, with that expected end. And so we may not understand this. Wait a minute. So Lord, you telling me I have to go through what? I
Yeah.
have to do who? I gotta what? This ain't. Wait a minute. Hold on. This ain't what I thought this life thing was gonna be about. But
Absolutely.
look how many products have been birthed in the last 2.5 years.
Yeah.
To God be the glory.
I'll be the
To
glory.
God be the glory for all he has done and what he is going to continue to do. And so, Erieka, you have shared your story with us, with me in the chat box. Your
Okay.
sister Jabrina Speaks. If you could leave the audience with one thing on tonight that you would want them to get after sharing your experience, you talked about, having, to move early, meaning like, hey y'all, and
Hmm.
then being that mother to your sisters, and then okay, figuring out, okay, why do I feel like this? I don't like the way I feel. I don't want to live no more, y'all. It's better if I just say my goodbyes and I go my merry way.
Yeah.
But then you found out I got to process and progress through it. Because if we really understand the process and progress of a diamond, it get beat all up before it become the beautiful thing that we buy.
That's
When
right.
you understand the process and the progress of a butterfly, it's ugly before it can be beautiful.
That's
If
right.
you understand the process and the progress of the oil, then you know that it's going to be crushed
Hmm.
so it can be the oil that we need. So
Right.
when you understand that, even though it hurts, you're
Mhm.
able to lift your head and still say, God, I don't quite understand why you got me going through what you're going through, what I'm going through, but I'm gonna trust you in the process, because 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 weeks ago, I didn't think I was going to make it, but I'm here now. So that lets me know that you've never left me nor forsake me. That lets me know that you're still walking with me, even though I don't even know which way I'm walking. But obviously, I'm still walking forward because things are still happening for me. And
Right.
so you shared all of that. And then you shared about the purpose behind it. And so if you could leave the audience with one thing, possibly two, on tonight, what would it be?
Even though it may be dark right now
Mm-hmm.
and you don't know which way to turn, you keep going because there is light at the end of the tunnel. And your test could be a testimony for someone else. So maybe that was two. That was two things.
I said one or two. Go ahead.
No, I think that was two things. So that's what I will leave with the audience tonight.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I am so proud of you.
Thank you, Jabri.
I am so proud of you. I am so proud of you. I told you before we got on, this is only the beginning to what God is getting ready to do for you in the next season of your life. And so you have made the enemy out of a liar on tonight, because as long as you kept your mouth closed and wouldn't share that story, then God couldn't get the glory of what he couldn't get the glory out of what he needed to get the glory out of. And so the enemy said, okay, no, Erieka, no, you don't want nobody to know about that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to go back there. No, I'm not going back there, but I need somebody to understand that there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Absolutely.
I need somebody to understand that they got to keep going, because when they look at you, they see the light. When they look at you, they see the purpose. When they look at you, they see the understanding. When they look at you, they see the growth. And so it took you to open up your mouth on tonight to share that part of your story that you haven't shared, because I learned a little bit more about you that I did not know. And so it's a blessing on tonight. And so tonight, the enemy lost because you shared your story.
Right. Enemy has lost.
The enemy has lost. You have shared your story. You have shared. Tell the audience how they can connect with you.
So I am on Facebook as Royal Beads Wellness. On Instagram, I am Royal Beads Boutique. And of course, the website is royalbeadsboutique.com.
Mm-hmm. Are you TikTok or anything?
So I have a TikTok account. I think my granddaughter uses it more than I do. But I do have one. It's Royal Beads. But I'm more active on Facebook and Instagram.
Facebook and Instagram. Listen, guys. Grab y'all lemonade, the best lemonade ever. Y'all see this lemonade?
I have to give you a code, Jabrina. Seriously, I have to give you a code.
I need my old Jabrina Speaks code, so all of you get my code. Y'all listen, y'all. This is, if you've never tried sea moss before, right? Because I can't do it. I'm not gonna lie, I can't do it. The texture, it just does something to me, right? But she put this in this lemonade that she makes, and the ingredients, the ingredients are on here. It is all natural. It is all natural. And so with that being said, you literally go on. Yes, got 4 bottles on Sunday. I don't know who that is, but I got 4 bottles on Tuesday too. Yeah. Y'all take it. I don't know. The first time I tried it, guys, I was like, how much am I supposed to drink of this? Am I supposed to drink it like a little bit? Because sea moss, you take a little bit at a time. Right. I drink the whole bottle like it's literally Coca-Cola. If anybody knows me, y'all know I love Coke. I drink this like a Coke. Like, right?
You're fine with that bottle. Okay. Because I would freeze one of those.
I do.
And take that with me, when I was on the streets as a mail carrier. Mm-hmm. So I'll just take my little B12 drops and I'll sip on that throughout the day. And
mine is not throughout the day. Mine is with one meal. Just go.
So I'll just sip, 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 sip. But
She sip, sip, sip. I drink, drink, drink. Like, let me get a number 7. I don't need no drink. I got one right here. And then, and when she say, please replace the Coke. Oh, be quiet, Mia. I am with this, with this, with this.
okay.
Because it's not, I know it's not good, Mia. But so yeah, so this is my technically my soda, y'all. When I need one. So every time I see Erieka, I'm always asking, quote unquote, begging for
Yeah.
a drink. So she knows now if she's coming anywhere I'm at, I don't care where we are, she better have one of these in her back pocket.
I'm glad you really enjoy those.
I do, y'all, because I can't do anything else. But this right here, baby, this right here is it's the best. And then she has her own water, right?
That's alkaline bottled water. Yes.
Alkaline bottled water. It is really good. It is fresh. Um, yeah, I can taste the difference, and I'm not a big, but I can taste the difference. I ain't gonna give y'all too much about me, but I can taste, this is very fresh.
It's a crisp taste.
It's very like I might need to order these instead of all the other stuff I be ordering. But yeah. Okay. So make sure y'all order y'all bottles. Tell her that Jabrina Speaks sent you. You watched the video. And yeah, so make sure you do that because I promise you, you are going to love it. Everybody's going to love it. I finally gave my grandma some yesterday. So I need to, she's 85 years old. I'm going to make sure I get a review from her so I can share it.
I thought maybe your mom would have shared that with her.
You know what? She said that yesterday. She was like, your mom, I think your mom was supposed to give me this. I was like, here, take it.
Okay. So definitely let me know that review from grandma. Okay?
I am. She's 85 years old. So I'm sure she'll have I said, it was a little warm. I said, put it in the freezer, let it get nice and cold, and then you could drink it. She said, oh, yeah. So at 85, she's going to be very honest with both of us, huh?
Honest review. Don't
right. But this is an honest, y'all. I'm telling y'all, if you've never tasted sea moss before, or if you have and you was like, this is it.
Yeah.
It's the best. And so we appreciate each and every one of you for joining us on tonight in the chat box with me. We're in the chat box every first and third Thursdays at exactly 7 p.m. I'm super excited because I don't know if Shannon is still on, but Shannon, if you didn't know, now you know. You're going to be my guest for the first Thursday in December. So I hope your schedule is available. I know we talked about it, but I want to make sure you know now live that you're going to be my guest. The first Shannon. I'm here, right, Shannon? Right. Get ready because I'll be inboxing you all the details you need. You are here the first Thursday in December. She has a story, guys. But Erieka's in the chat box right now. Erieka, do you have anything else you would like to leave the audience with on tonight?
I will just want to say I thank you for allowing me to share this story on your platform. Although I didn't see my purpose back then, I'm grateful for the experience. I'm thankful. And I'm just ready to be used.
Woo, child, that's a whole nother story because you said you ready to be used. And so I'm just going to say this live for anybody else that may be saying those same words. Because you have to use those words with caution sometimes. And so when you're ready to be used, know that God is going to use you. Absolutely. And so now that you have publicly given him a yes for use, go ahead and get ready because the Lord is about to use you all the way. And so I'm just saying now.
Yeah.
It's about to get real. And so get ready for the ride because it's one thing when you say, Lord, use me, I'm ready, for nobody else to hear, but you're live right now. And so other people have heard that yes of Lord, use me. And so when he does, get ready because because of your willingness and your obedience, he is going to make sure he do just that. And so get ready, because I am ready for the ride, girl. Woo.
Yes.
And again, we thank you. We thank you. We thank each and every one of you. I'm telling y'all, I don't know who that is. That's the face we say. Y'all better realize, that yes, and use me, Lord, and give me more, baby. It's gonna come. And so you ready though? You're definitely ready, because the enemy lost on tonight. You shared your story, and so what they say now is up from here. You can't.
It's up. It's up, up, up.
So each and every one of you, y'all have a great night on tonight. We appreciate you for joining us in the chat box with myself, Jabrina Speaks, and my guest, Miss Erieka Brown, the owner, the visionary, the founder, all of everything, y'all, of Royal Beads Boutique. Let me tell y'all something. She started with just 1 or 2 products, but if y'all check her website out right now, I know of at least 10 products. Like I could just, like, the spray, the hand sanitizer, the toothpaste, the beads, the water, the juice, the capsules, listen, I'm at 6 now. Do I need to keep going? I'm just saying,
Yes.
Don't despise small beginnings.
That's right.
That's what the Bible tells us. And so when you know that, you got to keep going, because she got bug repellent, y'all. Like literally, I can keep going on. Like I'm at 7 now.
And I make my own hand sanitizer and bug spray.
I'm telling y'all.
Yep.
I'm telling y'all. So have a good night. We love y'all. We love y'all. We love y'all. And there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Listen, make sure you connect with Erieka. Look up Royal Beads Boutique or Wellness. It is a blue logo. So if you see that blue logo with the lady that really looks like who you're looking at right now, that's who that is. And so if you're wondering, like, oh, I found this person, if it's not that blue logo, it ain't her. We love y'all. Y'all have a good night. Have a good night. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.